did you get a chance to see the TED Talk about Fangirls?
I saw that a while back. Yeah.
Yeah, it was more centered on One Direction, but it really, for me, like I know she did like everything over the top. So and I really recommend. I'll put the link in the description for those who want to check it out, because it really moved me as because I've been a football fan or a soccer fan for years, and to see the difference between how their fandom acts and how they're taken by an outsider compared to how a boy band fandom is taken, it's night and day. It's like completely different.
Yeah, I know. I love that TED Talk. And I'm the same as you. I grew up playing sports. I was a big athlete, big sports fan. And that was kind of like the aspect of my life that people were like, oh, that's like so cool, like look at you, like kind of one of the guys. Yeah, you play sports and like that's awesome. But also like while I loved sports and was like a big sports fan, I also at the same time was like a big like fan of boy bands. But then like those same people who were like, oh cool, like we love that you love sports, are like, wait, like that's weird. And so it was like it was strange, right? Because it was almost like, where do I fit like with these people? Like it's great that they loved that I played sports, but like it was like, but I just didn't understand why people had to look down on that other aspect of like the boy band kind of thing. And yeah, it is. I don't think that people think enough about this. I mean, I put out one of those like Venn diagram charts once where it shows like the similar characteristics of sports fans and then like boy band fans. And there's so many similarities, obviously, but people don't think about it, right? And there's obviously like a male dominated side and then female dominated side. And that obviously comes into play in the way people perceive these two, which is certainly a shame. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating. So.
Yeah, it's especially frustrating when you think about the contribution a fandom like ARMY has done. Like most male-dominated fandoms don't get a lot done. Like football fans are known for their brutality and violence, and like there are thousands of horror stories about stuff they've done. No one looks down on them for that. You have even like recently there was the it's not exactly geek, but you had the I'm trying to think how to say it. You had the movie Justice League come out, and there was a director's cut, the Snyder's cut, and it didn't come out. Like there was a whole thing there. The director got he had to leave for a personal thing last minute, and a different director came in instead. Joss Whedon came instead, and the moment the movie came out, people were like, "We want the original cut." And people have been demanding it for 2 years, and finally now they got it. They will get that Snyder's cut. But all they did, and like people really, all these media outlets really said like, oh, the fandom, they pulled through. They did so much. They got the movie they wanted, and they donated for a suicide charity, suicide prevention charity. So they donated a little bit, and they had money to put on billboards. They did so much for that movie. And people like almost completely ignored the fact that half of that fandom was incredibly toxic. If you said anything, even like, I'm not saying all of it, obviously, there's bad apples everywhere. We have them. Every fandom has them. But that fandom was really aggressively moved, as most male dominant fandoms move. And here, like, you have this fandom that does so much good for years. It's not like temporary, and it's not to achieve one thing. It's not, we don't have one goal. And yet that fandom is a lot easily disregarded.
Yeah, it is frustrating and certainly a shame that they're missing out on those aspects of good that a lot of, especially ARMY and fandoms similar to ARMY, like that are more female dominated for sure. It's interesting, even during this time, right, with ARMY and K-pop fans being in the spotlight, like everyone when I say everyone, like people on the outside are treating it as this kind of new phenomenon, but it's like, ARMY especially has been doing this for years and have so many, like just looking at one in ARMY's map and the activities they have archived. there's like over 600 fundraisers and charities that have been supported by ARMY, but obviously people don't talk about it as much, which is a shame. But obviously now it's getting some sort of attention, but I think that's what a lot of armies are telling even media is like, well, but this isn't new, like you just haven't been paying attention. So hopefully the conversations that we're having now are hopefully going to bring attention to what we've been doing for a long time as a fandom, and hopefully it helps to shift the narrative a little bit over time. But I mean, all we can do, right, is to continue educating people and informing them with all the information we have. But I mean, just again, like this, the importance of documenting these things, because otherwise people outside wouldn't even know it, right? The fact that one in an army even has like an archive and like a map of all of these different fundraisers, like it's pretty amazing. And so if we didn't have that, we wouldn't really have things to back up all of what we're saying. So yeah, hopefully more people start to pay attention now.
Yeah. I had something.